a bit more about them. So today's topic is basically centered around teaching. And what I love about all of this is because there's just like young teachers. Yeah, so your experiences probably are different from the teachers of previous generations. I know, like from my side, my mom says that teachers prior to the time of us were really passionate about their work, and now times have changed, hence private schools and stuff like that. So we're just trying to get to the basis of things to find out if that is even true, because you guys are the people who go out into the space every single day, and the changes that come with everything, the kids, you can basically surround everything that surrounds the kids towards your entire career. So with that being said, I love exploring expectations versus reality. Now, when you go to varsity, for example, to go and study something, in most occasions, you find that by the time you get into the groundwork after the graduation, it's not exactly what you thought it would be, So now the opening question for me, in line with all of you, so whoever can take the answer can go ahead. And like I said, we can just flow with it. So ever since you studied, and you went to varsity, you did your theories, you did your exams, and you did your practicals and all of that, right through to landing a spot where you actually are doing the job in front of the kids and in front of those people. How has that been different for you? Like, was it what you expected? Was it less than what you expected? Was it worse than what you expected? And everything in line with that time when you first familiarize yourself outside of a technical institution right through to actually exercising what you needed to do with the kids. So opening floor is for Mpho. Can I start with you, please?
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for that question. For me, it was quite challenging, and I feel like my experience was actually worse than what I had expected, because honestly, when I got to that school, I was still doing my honors degree, and it was a mess. Like, it was a mess. And I feel like at varsity, they only prepared us for like the theory, they didn't prepare us for like the actual classrooms, the dynamics that you might find in different schools. I'm in a public school, and my first class was 63 learners. That was a lot. And we didn't have furniture. There were no resources. There was no induction, no teacher support. A lot was going on. And honestly, I was really overwhelmed. And I also did question whether this was the right career for me. And in my first year, I really, really wanted to quit. So for me, my experience was worse than I had expected. So yeah.
That is really insane. And I can see like Thato facial expression. It tells me that he wants to add on to something. So Thato, we can continue.
Honestly, guys, what we learn in varsity is completely different from what's going on in the ground, because I also work in a public school, and the numbers are a problem because you are never equipped with enough theoretical knowledge on how to work with big numbers. So it becomes a shock, especially when you are meeting with different personalities in the classroom with 47 learners, different personalities, and you just have to find your way around getting to know each and every learner, which is a mammoth task, honestly, to get to know everyone within that short period of time that you are with the kids. Because with me, I move from class to class, so the classes differ. You get 47 in this class, you get 48, you get 35 in the next class. And it is your responsibility as a teacher to know each and every child within an hour, and be able also to call them by name. So that was the most challenging thing when I started with my teaching, and also the induction process. It's not fully implemented. You learn as you go. You learn as you go, and it becomes such a challenge for a new teacher, honestly, to get your feet up. So yeah.
So the technicalities basically versus the actual doing of the work was two different
things. Two different things, honestly.
And then Sebabatso, how did you get into this like educational space? I'm actually dying to know.
But maybe first I want to say my experience was a bliss. I felt very well prepared. I was one, I'd never stopped working with teenagers from the get-go. And I went into a public school, and see, I always say to people, I didn't play myself. When I was doing teaching practicals, I didn't go to these fancy schools to do my teaching practicals. I went to the rural. So by the time I started working, I was ready. I knew what I was going, like I was ready. I was ready, but as for what happened, how I got into it, I said to everyone, teaching chose me. Teaching chose me. I was stuck. I was stuck. And it so happened that as I was stuck and I wasn't sure what was I going to do next and whatever, I had already applied for to study education, and it so happened that there was already a bursary. I had already received a bursary, and my mom was kind of like, okay, these are the stars talking. You go into that field. So everything was already aligned, but I always say it chose me. And when it happened, I was so ready for it because I was very young. Like I started working at the age of 21, and I had never stopped working with kids. So I was ready to play. I was ready to chase people around. Like I was very playful. So I had because I also when I started working, it was in a township, and I had 50 something learners in my class. And it was a bliss. My classes were so chaotic, still chaotic till today. But then I always say the chaos is caused by me. I am responsible for the chaos in my classroom because it is me who's loud. It is me who walks in ready to dance. It is me who starts singing. Like I'm a mess, really. And I loved it. It's been a bliss. It has really, really been a bliss.